Welcome back, and we build predictions. It's match week 36. There is still so much to play for in the Premier League. We got 3 weeks left, but there is still so much to play for in And We Build Predictions. 3 weeks left. The total scores are now to 217 Jordan to 214 Brock. I have a 3-point cushion after my 6-3 win last week. There's so much to play for. Be in the comments on who you think is going to win. Be in the comments on who you think is going to win in the Premier League this week. But let's just go ahead and get into the predictions for this week. We're going to start off with our game of the week. It is Luton Town at home at the Kenny against Everton. Luton, man oh man, we all want them to stay up, and it's going to have to start with a win this week. They're playing against an Everton team who are in great form. 3 wins on the bounce. But Everton have now mathematically secured not getting relegated. They are safe, and so they don't have as much to play for anymore. This is Luton's chance at home, the chaos of the Kenny, to get 3 points. Do I think it's going to happen? Unfortunately, I don't. I just don't know if they have what it takes at this later stage of the season to put together a performance like that. I want it to happen, but I'm going to go ahead and just sit the fence 1-1.
Everton is safe. Luton is not. It all rides on this one, and it is going to be a massive 3 points for Luton Town when they take down Everton 2-1. The Kenny, I'm trusting on you one more time for me.
Arsenal play host to Bournemouth. Arsenal, they just have to keep winning. That's their only hope, and just hope City drop points. They just got to keep winning. This is a tough one against a Bournemouth team who've won 2 in a row. Bournemouth are very, very mid-table. It's crazy to think a couple months into the season, this Bournemouth team were in a relegation conversation. Since November, they are 5th in the points table. They have just been brilliant. Once Iriola has gotten his hands on the team, they have been flying. Solanke has been brilliant. He's bringing the best out of all of these players, right? But they just don't have enough against an Arsenal team. What they've done this season has been brilliant, but Arsenal are playing for a title, and I don't think they will lose it this weekend. Arsenal 3-1.
Arsenal-Bournemouth, the Gunners are back at home after an incredible stretch of games here to keep the title hopes alive. And I think you're going to see the Emirates in full voice, in full sound, and it will be a 3-1 victory for the Gunners. What a North London derby we were treated to. It's 3-1. On the trot we go.
That brings us into a West London derby. We have the rivals of Brentford and Fulham. Brentford hosts this one. Brentford, in recent weeks, have been pretty good. They've been pretty good. Fulham, on the other hand, are kind of in that stage where both of these teams are kind of in that stage where they're mathematically safe. I mean, job well done, but they just don't have a lot to really play for. But man, oh man, a fixture like this brings out the best in both of these teams. Oh man, a rivalry. Both teams want to win this game more than almost any other game on the calendar this year. So I think my Fulham are going to get the result on the road. They're going to do it in the 3-1 fashion. I don't know exactly how that's going to happen, but I have to back my Cottagers. Let's send it over to Brock.
Oh man, this is a big one. It's a rivalry game. We get Brentford playing host to Fulham. Brentford really haven't been that impressive of late. Fulham, they're always due for a win, but I think that this might be a different story. I'm going to go 2-1 Brentford. I think home field makes all of the difference for this one.
That brings us into Burnley against Newcastle. Burnley have everything to play for. I mean, it felt like a couple weeks ago that we were pretty much like Burnley are down and out, but they have picked up form recently. They are unbeaten in their last 3, but they're coming they're coming against a Newcastle team who have been really good recently. Last week, Newcastle relegated Sheffield, and they could put a pretty damping nail in the coffin for Burnley with a win this week. I think they will. I think Newcastle are good enough. Isaac's in the Golden Boot conversation, and so I think they'll win this 3-1.
Burnley, Newcastle, I could sit here and waffle all I want, but Burnley are going down. Newcastle with what to play for, but I think Newcastle goes on to win this game pretty handily. I'm going to go 3-1 Newcastle.
That brings us into Sheffield against Nottingham Forest. This is, on paper, is one of the worst games of the weekend, but it has a lot of relegation implications. As we know, Sheffield are down and out. They will be playing back in the Championship next season, whereas Forest are right above the drop. They have Luton and Burnley both coming after them, and they are playing against a team who has literally nothing to play for. They have to get 3 points if they are going to stay up. And I think they will. I think they're going to win this game 2-0.
Sheffield, Forest. Forest really need a fixture. They really need a result. And this is the time it has to come. It has to come right now. And I think they get there. I really do. It took me a second. The wheels were turning. I'm going to go 1-0 Forest.
Man City facing off against Wolves. Are Wolves going to be the team to take points off of City? I have no idea. But man, City this time of year just feels so unstoppable. It just does not seem like they will drop any points. They haven't dropped points in about a month. They are unbeaten in 18 consecutive Premier League games. Holland's back on the score sheet last week. It just feels inevitable that this team doesn't drop any more points. But this Wolves team is a good team, and on their day, they can pull off a shock result this weekend. Sarabia, Cunha, Wang Hee-chan, they just got a lot of players back from injury, and Gary O'Neill knows how to find a result. This game's going to be interesting, but I just don't think Wolves are going to have enough on the day to dethrone this juggernaut of City. City will win this game. I'm going to go 3-1.
Manchester City, Wolves. It's at the Etihad, and they'll just keep rolling. Man, are they just... It's what makes City, City, and they'll continue to roll, and they'll continue to roll, and it will happen again when they win this game 3-0.
Brighton against Aston Villa, and Brighton have been shocking. They are winless in at least their last 5. And I don't know what's going on. They were in a European conversation, and they were firmly in a European conversation, but their form has dropped completely in the past month. They have been woeful. They're coming off of a 3-0 defeat against Bournemouth, and it's just shocking. And they're coming against a Villa team who is looking at solidifying themselves in the Champions League next year. They're in 4th right now. Tottenham are right on their tail. It feels like Villa will be able to get the 3 points. Watkins has been brilliant this year. He's in a Golden Boot conversation as well. But I think they'll be able to get the job done. I'm going to just go 2-1 here. Villa will win it. Brock, what do you think?
Brighton, Villa take a little knock in the Europa, whatever European competition they're playing in right now. They take a little knock, they take a little hiccup, and I think they get back on track on the weekend. They've been a really impressive side. All to play for with top 4. Push. Chelsea do a deal, big blow to the pressure they were feeling from Tottenham, but I think Villa back on track. I'm going to go 2-0 Villa.
This brings us into a London derby. We have Chelsea playing host to West Ham. Chelsea, they're just so unpredictable, right? On their day, they are dangerous. on their day, they just continuously put up these insane expected goals, and they always underperform them. But man, oh man, they have a lot of talent, and obviously Cole Palmer is brilliant. I think Chelsea will win on the day. I'm going to go 2-0.
Chelsea West Ham. I tell you what, Chelsea, after getting pounded by Arsenal, seem to be getting right in the ship. They always seem to do this, right? They get destroyed, and then all of a sudden you have a reason to believe. And I think Chelsea go on to win this game against West Ham. 2-1 to Chelsea. Jackson, you're an unbelievable player.
That brings us into a huge bout between Liverpool and Tottenham. Tottenham are still trying to get back into the Champions League conversation. Liverpool have seen their title hopes completely fade. Seems like they will be finishing third in this Premier League season in Klopp's last season. But they're at home at Anfield in a Big Six bout. They're going to want to get the points. And I think they will. I think they'll be able to get the result despite not having as much to play for. They're going to win this. They're going to win this game 3-2. I want it to be a cracker, so I'm going to predict a cracker.
Liverpool Spurs. Liverpool off of a disappointing North London derby. Liverpool back at Anfield after they've had the title push derailed. But I think this is the opportunity that they get back on track. The media has been out of proportion. Title, bottle, Salah in fumes. Listen, I'm not having it. Liverpool have had an unbelievable season. It's not fair to put expectations that were not there at the beginning of the season on a team that nobody expected to even be in the conversation. Good on Liverpool. It's been a great season. I want to see them finish strong. Darwin Nunez brace. We're going to go Liverpool 2-1.
The last fixture of the week is going to be played on Monday, and it's Crystal Palace at home against Man United. Crystal Palace in the reverse fixture actually won this game on a Joachim Anderson banger off of a corner. But if you're looking at this game right now, you're honestly probably thinking recent form Crystal Palace has a better chance of winning this game than what we've seen of United in the past couple of weeks. They have been woeful and shocking. But I think United will have enough on the day to win this game. I'm gonna go 2-0.
Palace at home against Manchester United. United are just finding ways to scrape results and ties. It's been unbelievable. And this feels like another one. I think there was a stat. They've had the fewest amount of ties. I think that will be undone here. It's going to be 1-1 Palace United. I'm sitting the fence.
That's going to wrap us up for match week 36. So much to play for. I can't wait for it. We're throwing up the graphic right now for Brock and I's predictions. Brock needs to mount a comeback to make these last couple weeks interesting. Hopefully I'm able to extend my 3-point cushion. But all that being said, thank you guys for watching and have a good week.